this jumped out. You lived in a haunted cabin. You were a part of 2 exorcisms and may have been a grave digger. Can you? Where did it all begin, really?
Oh, well.
Which film was that?
I know. No, it's definitely impacted my perspective over time. As I grew older, I realized how unusual my life was as a younger person. But I'm from L.A. I was born here, but at some point, my family moved outside of Chicago, and my mother she rode horses, so we ended up living on a ranch, and this log cabin was our house, and it was nice, but it was very dark, and it was once owned by Al Capone. So when we took ownership of it, it had some one-way glass windows, and it had bookshelves that pulled out, and there were small rooms behind bookshelves, but it always had a very odd energy. And for about a year of living there, we thought we were going crazy because there were just too many oddities that were occurring. And then we found out more about the history of the house, and it led ultimately to 2 separate exorcisms that were performed on the house, which only made things worse.
Man.
So it was a natural fit to score Rob Zombie movies.
Totally. You know, the funny thing is, if you think about this, so this property, it was a few acres, and it was all completely forested. And when I was a kid, I'd have to, of course, among doing a million chores, I had to take out the trash, and oftentimes we'd eat dinner late, and if the trash was full at 8:30 at night and it was pitch black, my dad would make me take the trash out. Now if I wanted to stash it, around the corner of the house, the raccoons would tear it up. I'd get my ass beat. This was not, this was pretty serious. So the trash bins were all in this old storage shed at the edge of the property, and so it's probably about 50 yards away from the house in pitch black, and there was a padlock on it, and I had to go out there and undo the padlock, and then the doors would scrape open, and there was a window on the side of this thing, and I swear to God on my life, there was an old scythe that must have been 50 years old hanging above that window. So you see this big, sharp blade hanging down, and I swear to God, I thought Michael Myers was going to come out and kill me, right?
Oh, God.
So I'd stash the trash in there, and I locked the thing up. And the funny thing is that I didn't realize until later on in life, I was running as fast as I could back into the haunted house to seek refuge.
Oh, no.
So this sounds like a biopic that should be made.
There was so much crazy stuff that happened. It's hard to even.
I wonder if it affected the way you approached music, any of the scary stuff, because you did end up doing some of these really monstrous, dark pictures.
Well, disturbing for sure.
Disturbing, yeah.
I mean, I know what it feels like to have
that's perfect.
That in your mind. But I've always been a lover of music, of all varieties since I've been very young, and I did not grow up with the fantasy of scoring films. I didn't even consider it because I didn't think it was attainable. I just didn't even think it was a job that I could ever have.